All right, full disclosure here, this is my second time recording this because I forgot to format my card and it filled up after about 2 minutes of the first video, and it was about a 20-minute video, so fantastic. But we're gonna try something a bit different today. I'm going to do a kind of portfolio review of a photographer that I know through YouTube, Erik Wahlstrom. And what kind of brought this about is a few weeks ago on his channel, he sent out a request for photographers to send in 5 images for him to review. And if you haven't seen his channel, he's a really cool guy. He's just like, hey kids, let's talk about film today and have a beer. He's from New York, and that's a really bad impression, I know, but that's kind of how he starts his videos out. And okay, side note, how bad is my accent? Because that was a terrible New York accent, obviously, but whenever I talk to people out in, like if they come talk to me in Utah and the first words come out of my mouth, it's like a look of terror comes over their face. It's like I'm speaking a foreign language. Now, I don't hear it. I don't hear the Southern in my voice when I'm editing my own videos or listening to myself right now, but everybody says so. So how bad is my accent? Let me know from other people that hear it. But anyway, side note, back to Erik's images here. So he's doing his own film review, and interesting about his channel is he is the one of the first people I recognized that subscribed to my channel, because when I was first starting out, I was watching every subscriber, getting really excited when people subscribed. And when he subscribed, he had over 1,000 subscribers himself, like 2K or something. And I was like, wow, a big channel followed me. And he's got a really cool avatar. It's like the silhouette of a large format camera. So followed him back. Like I said, just a really cool guy, really seems to enjoy film. And when he was doing these videos, reviewing other people's images, he was giving them, directing people to their website or their Instagram page, giving other people a lot of publicity, I guess. And I was like, well, he deserves some himself. So I shot him an email, asked if he wanted me to review images. Not that I'm anybody or anything, but what little I guess fame, it's not fame, but we'll call it fame, I have, maybe I can send some people his way too, kind of give him some recognition for all the work he's doing for other people. So I'll link to his channel down below. You'll really enjoy it. Like I said, just a really cool guy, seems like a really cool guy. So let's get into his images here. Now he sent 5 and then kind of gave me a little backstory of each image. So this first one here, says first one is one of the first photos I took with my 4x5 that I really liked. It was with the Crown Graphic, an abandoned gas station in South Buffalo. I love that place. It really has sort of a Mad Max post-apocalyptic feel. Sadly or not, since Buffalo has been rapidly improving and developing, they tore down the place and built a waterfront park. Nice, I suppose, but I'm glad I got the photo. Yeah, definitely. That kind of makes it a historical photo since that place is not there anymore. Doesn't say what this is shot on. I've got to imagine this is some sort of Velvia. Maybe Velvia 100. Yeah, those shadows kind of look 100-y. Erik, when you see this, let me know in the comments below what you shot this on. Definitely looks like Velvia with the blues in the sky and also the yellows and reds. Kind of a distinct Velvia look. Really, really like this image. I mean, all these details down here with the kind of the rust in the curb, all the broken down, the windows that have plywood on top of them. Really, just tons of character in this image. I love how it looks like it's shot in wintertime too. You've got these bare trees in the background, just a real sense of decay in the image. Kind of like a real melancholy feel to the image. And how it's, again, it looks like it was shot at sunset. We've got the really long shadows here. And, kind of, you've got the trees that are dying, this abandoned gas station here, and then sunset's the end of a day. In the wintertime, it looks like just a really, really moody image. Yeah, I really like that. Tough exposure too. I mean, you've got stuff in direct sunlight and deep shadows. Doesn't look like anything's, definitely nothing blown and nothing blocked up. So that's a tricky one. Well done. Again, let me know what that's shot on. All right, second image here says, this is one of the first exposures I ever took on film, large format or otherwise. Portrait 164x5 of frozen Lake Erie as the sun set. Not a perfect image, but I remember feeling a great sense of accomplishment when I got the giant negative back and scanned it. Detail in the ice is staggering, even on a flatbed scanner. It's funny, one of the first exposures you took, that's actually kind of the route I took into large format. I shot one roll of Ektar 35mm, and then my next exposure was on 4x5, so kind of an odd way to go about things, but hopefully it worked out for me. Yeah, so when I first saw this thumbnail in the email he sent me, I thought it was kind of an abandoned parking lot with the concrete that's been busted up here. But then when you find out it's ice, man, does that give you just a cold sensation. Man, you say it's not a perfect image. I really like it. Very graphical. You've got the banding, and then within each band is different textures, kind of some smooth areas, some rougher areas, some big chunks here in the middle. Yeah, a very graphical image. I like it. And then you've got the sun setting here. Portra, great choice for this, captures all the dynamic range that's there. And the sky is kind of a wintertime sky, typical of winter, but it's also typical of Portra as well. And I really think that that enhances the cold feeling you get from this image. I actually lived in Michigan for a little bit, and I was blown away that when Lake Michigan, I think it was Lake Michigan, I was 4, so the details are a little fuzzy, but people would actually drive out on the lake in their trucks and stuff when it was frozen. So yeah, it brings back some memories for me. We don't get ice like this in Tennessee. Cool image. I think it's good. Third image here. Okay, I remember watching this video. This is an image, well, I'll read what he says. It's a photo of my sister Morgan on the Mamiya RB67 on an overexposed Portra 400. The only way to shoot Portra, by the way, is to overexpose it. It was actually from my video on Portra, I'll link that down below, that I threw together last summer. I just think it turned out well and really illustrated the look I was trying to show in the video. Yeah, so this is your typical Portra look, especially if you follow any high-end wedding photographers that shoot on film. This is the look, this really pastel look, you know, nothing too contrasty. Really gorgeous images. This was probably taken with a long lens because the background is just really, the bokeh is just really blown out, really separated. And I love that RB67. That was actually my first kind of experience with film. One of my buddies bought one, and man, is that thing a tank, and the shutter has a really distinctive thud sound. So yeah, this image in particular, zoom in, I mean, just tack sharp on her eyelashes and eyebrow there. Like the look, she's looking away, and again, you nailed the Portra look with this image. Shoot that stuff overexposed, and it'll really give you this beautiful, distinctive look. These last two are actually my favorite from your set. Fourth one, people on Flickr just love this one. It's of some empty wine bottles at River Garden Studio in Troy, New York. Casey's out of focus in the background. Canon A1 on Trax 400 developed in my kitchen. I just think it's neat. Yeah, I would agree. So Casey, maybe a lady friend, appears to be a purse. Some boots here. I love that she is blurred out in the background, but you can kind of, or you can make out that it's probably a lady back there, and but also kind of a feeling of mystery to it. This has a the reason I like this image so much is because it's so different than the photography that I shoot. With all of his images, there's to me a lot of character to them, and this is just a really cool, looks like it's probably a store maybe, but almost like a street photography type of feel to it. Beautiful grain in the film. Man, I've got to try that out. Tack sharp focus on the bottles there. Again, just a lot of character in that image. Okay, so image number 5 says, I just needed to include one of my dads since he's been so patient having his photo taken. This one was again taken with the RB67 and T-Max 400. Anyone want to comment the difference between Tri-X and T-Max? I don't know. I've never shot Kodak black and white film. It says, shot on T-Max 400 without particularly good light. I was worried that it would either be motion blurred or underexposed, but the real contrasty look works well, I think. I would agree. I like contrast in my images. You say not good light. Backlit like this, I really enjoy this in black and white images. Of course, you got the really bright window in the background here, and then the deep shadows underneath his arm where he's playing the guitar, but nothing really appears blocked up. Again, a lot of character in this. I get the feeling that your dad may, I see a lot of wisdom in this image for some reason. You've got a guy playing an instrument and then his library of books in the background. The word I keep coming back to is just character. I feel like I kind of know this guy looking at the image, even though I obviously don't. But you feel like you know a little bit about a person. With the way this image is taken, razor sharp on his jacket underneath his face here, and then the grain in this is just gorgeous, even on this relatively small size. Yeah, Kodak film. I'm gonna give that a whirl sometime. So anyway, that is Eric Wallstrom. 5 images he sent me. Do me a favor, check out his channel, subscribe to him. I think there's kind of been a real renaissance in film photography. I don't know exactly what's causing it. Maybe people are enjoying the purity of it, but I also think it's maybe guys like hopefully myself and definitely Eric and some of these other YouTube channels that are just sharing it and sharing how much fun and rewarding it is to shoot with film. So let's keep building the community. Check out his channel, give him a subscribe, and yeah, let's keep growing this thing. So a few more things I wanted to talk about in this video. One is to ask you guys a question. What else do you want to see from me? This is kind of your channel. I mean, you guys make it. If you don't watch my videos, then I'm not going to, quite honestly, I'm not going to make them without an audience. So what do you guys want to see? I've got a couple gear reviews coming up, and then one on composition that I'm kind of excited to share with you guys. I just review my own images, and that's narcissistic, but I'm going to go over my own images and kind of go about the things I think work with them, some of the things that don't work, and really about what I was thinking, my thought process that I go through as I'm composing an image. So hopefully that'll be interesting to give you guys kind of a feel for what I'm thinking when I shoot. But what are some other things you guys want to see? It's tough for me to get out and do a ton of shooting trip videos because I just don't take a lot. The stage of life I'm at, life is just hard to get out, for me to get out and in the field and shoot a lot. But one thing in particular I was thinking about is, would you guys like to submit some images for me to review? There's several photographers that do that, obviously Eric that we talked about earlier, but not that I'm qualified to look at anything, but I just thought it may be neat for me to kind of, you know, pay it back to you guys. You guys are supportive of my channel. You comment, like, share, things like that, and in whatever little way I can, I want to help you guys out. Now, you've seen my subscriber numbers. When I feature your images, you're not going to get famous, but again, just a little way for me to, you know, direct some people back to your own work. Now, one thing I was thinking about that is I don't want to do just a straight review of 5 images because there again, there are so many people that do that better than I do. I want you to, let's call it 5 images. What I'm considering is having you guys send in 5 images. 4 can be your best of the best images because we all want to show our best work. But the 5th image, I was thinking about having you send in an image that didn't quite work. And I'm not talking about things like you missed exposure or you know, large format if you had a film shift. I'm talking about where you got everything right, but the composition didn't quite work. And maybe you could write in your reasons why it didn't work. I know I had an image that I showed my video a few weeks ago in Zion 2 years ago that didn't work, but I studied it, hopefully came up with a better composition, and shot it a second time, because I think we learn better from our mistakes. So again, that's kind of what I was considering if I did a video review of your images. But let me know in the comments if you want me to do it. If not, no big deal. It'll just crush my feelings, but hey, feelings grow back. But if that's something you want, let me know. And I want to end on this. Now, if you follow landscape photography for a while, especially film photography, you'll get, it's kind of a relatively small group, and you'll start to see these names over and over again. And one of the fun things is when it gets to be about this time of year, end of September, beginning of October, these photographers you follow, they'll start to post images of their shooting trips, because fall is clearly the best time to shoot landscapes. And year after year, you start to see a pattern. It seems to start in the U.S., in the Rocky Mountains, with those high elevations and the aspens up there. And I get really jealous of the people that go out there and shoot, but at the same time, it's fun to follow their travels, because, again, it starts in the Rockies and the high elevations, and then around mid-October, it shifts to, here in the Smokies, mid to late October. They start to change colors there. First week in November, the lower desert elevations in the desert southwest, Zion, places like that. But it's really fun year after year to watch these people. And I just wanted to share some of the photographers I follow. They've all got bigger social media presences than I do, so I'm not doing them any favors. But if you guys kind of like the work that I do, I think you're going to love these other photographers here. And again, they didn't ask me to do this. I just wanted to showcase their work a little bit. And the first guy is Michael Strickland. I've never actually met Michael. We've talked on Facebook a lot, and then we know each other through Instagram. He's a large format shooter, but he shoots really all kinds of formats: 8x10, 4x5, 6x17. I think he's got a 6x7 film camera as well. Amazing work. I think he's back in Kansas now, but he travels all over. But yeah, so he's in the Rockies right now, shooting great images, and really cool guy. Again, I know him just online. We haven't met in person yet, but one day we'll meet in Zion, I'm sure. Second guy, Luke Walker. Again, a guy I just know on Instagram. I think we started following each other there. Has a blog, writes about all his camping adventures, and that's another thing I think you'll get from these photographers that I'm mentioning. They seem to really enjoy the outdoors. Honestly, not sure what Luke shoots. I think it's digital. But again, great work. He's in the Rockies right now, doing good work out there, so give him a follow. Third guy, the only one of these photographers that I've actually met in person, we met in Zion last year, Marty Quinn, Quinn Images on Instagram. He's a 4x5 shooter, and again, does great work. Looks like he's on his Instagram feed, travels all over out west. Did I mention that I'm just slightly jealous of most of these guys? But anyway, give him a follow. And last guy on here, this guy, again, I've never met, just follow him on Facebook, Nathan McCreary. He is in the Rockies right now, and his last post said he shot around 200 sheets of 4x5 black and white, 40 sheets of color, and 1,000 digital on his digital camera. I think he's a full-time photographer. He has to be, because there's no way he's getting that film developed otherwise. But yeah, all the time posting his work on Facebook, and it is gorgeous, especially his black and white images, just really breathtaking. But yeah, give him a look at his work. Again, I think if you enjoyed all the work that I try to do, you're going to enjoy these other photographers. So just some people to follow. It's kind of fun to watch their adventures as the color starts to change. So again, Eric Wallstrom, link to his channel down below. Give him a follow. Really cool dude. What are some things you want to see on my channel moving forward? Maybe a film review. Maybe not. If not, no big deal. And then check out these other people. I'll link to their social media accounts so you guys can give them a follow as well. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.